Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Trenette Talks. It's your girl, Michelle. Grab your coffee cups, get comfortable. But, baby, we might need a Red Bull today or something because what is really going on? Might even need a little ashwagandha pill because what's really going on? I be trying not to spaz, but y'all finna see why. So, I believe the last time we had a little talkie talk, our little coffee talk, I was telling you guys how my ex ended up being arrested. And he had to be transferred to another jail before he got his bond because that's where the crime took place, right? So once he made it to the jail, I would say about a day later, he received a bond. His bond was about 4,500 altogether. No, I'm lying. It was 45,000 altogether, because he had three separate charges. So if y'all don't know, I've only known because of sad experiences, but when you get a bond, you can always get a bondsman. And the bondsman makes you pay 10% of that bond. So he only had to come up with 4,500 to get out. And of course, his family bonded him out. I expected nothing less because the minute he got arrested, they were calling me to tell me that they were going up there to bond him out. What are you telling me that for? I couldn't care less. A lot has happened since he's been arrested, and I try not to let it all get to me because I know him, and now I know that he's like the way he is because of his family, because they're like that 10 times worse. I don't remember if I told you guys that his grandmother called and asked for our son whenever he was first arrested, but I just find it crazy that any other time when I was begging y'all to get our child, y'all would tell me no, or I got custody set for a reason. I got custody set so legally, you had your time with our son and I had my time. And whenever it was always time for his custody, he would never want to get our son. And he would never want to get him because he felt like if I didn't want to be a quote unquote family with him and get back together with him, then he wants nothing to do with our child. He has told this to my face numerous times. He has shown it to me numerous times. So I just found it very funny that the very people that have called the cops on me when they didn't feel like watching my child anymore, even though they agreed to watch him for a certain amount of days so I can work. Why do you feel like now, since you're asking for my son, that I'm just going to give him to you? And just because the father is in jail does not mean I have to give my son to you during his custody time. It's his custody time, not grandparents or great grandparents' custody time. So I do not have to give my child to you. And I think they failed to realize that when it comes to me, I'm going to document. Y'all are not finna find a way to get me in trouble with the law or things like that just because your son committed the crime and I reported the crime and he ended up in jail and blasted on the news. Like, it doesn't make me happy that my child's father has went to jail and has been posted on the news. All it does is make me fear for my life a little bit more. It has been a pattern at this point that when things go wrong in his life, he takes it out on me. Whenever I do something to hold him accountable, he finds a way to make something happen to me. So I was not happy about pressing charges, but it gets to a point. It gets to a point. So anyway, yeah. So whenever he went to jail, his grandmother called me and asked for our son. And I told her I'll see because my mother wanted him this weekend. And me and the father already agreed that we were going to skip his weekend because my mom wanted him. He didn't put up any fight. He said, fine, he can go with your mom. I just find it so crazy how they really be having the audacity, y'all. Like the audacity really be the thing that blows me the most. After I said, I'll see, because my mom had him for the weekend, they took it upon themselves. I don't know, because honestly, I blocked her after that because too much was going on. My ex was just arrested. All of y'all are blowing up my phone continuously trying to force me to go to the police department and drop the charges. So I'm going to block y'all to protect my peace because y'all are not about to put me in harm's way or force me to do anything that I don't want to do. Those times are gone. So I did block her after she called my phone. So I'm assuming she tried calling me back to get an answer or whatever. So they ended up calling my mom. And not only that, the grandma got my mom's number out my ex's phone and She called my mom and had my ex on three-way while he was in jail. So my ex told my mom that he was going to put me in jail whenever he got out, and then lied to my mom and said that he was holding court paperwork in his hand stating that I filed with the courts, and me, my stepmom, and my dad signed an affidavit saying that they believe I should move to Texas with them because my mom is unfit to take care of my son. I don't know if I said this last episode or not, but just to reiterate, what does my mom being unfit have to do with my child? That doesn't even sound like something plausible to file in the court system. It makes no sense. If she was my son's guardian, because I was just a trashy mom and didn't want my child, then maybe that would make some sense, but I wouldn't be the one filing. So it's not making sense at all. So that's what he told my mom. And I'm sure, while I hope she didn't believe it, I wouldn't know. I wasn't on the phone call. So I don't know what she said to him and what was really said to her, if that makes sense. I wasn't there. I'm just being told the aftermath. So stuff could be left out. It could be lies being told. I would never know. So yeah, she told me that he said that. And so he told her whenever he got out of jail, he was going to put me in jail because I lied and said that the protective order was still active when it wasn't. No, I never said that at all. I hope the officer or the detective that took the call and was writing the report for me, that he put in a report that I said that the protective order was dropped. We had a 3601 injunction, which is like a civil protective order or something like that. Basically almost like a no contact order. But when the detective was doing his research, he said that the protective order was still active. So he was going based on that. But either way, if that protective order charge gets dropped, you still have two other charges. So it really doesn't help much. He called my mom and told her that he was going to put me in jail, that I filed with the courts to move to Texas because my mom's unfit. No, I put in my paperwork that I wanted to move to Texas because I got another job opportunity and it would be better stability for me and my child because his father is not exercise and visitation. That's what I put. That happened. And then I don't know if my ex was still on the phone when the grandma started talking to my mom, but she was asking to see our son because she claims that I have been telling them no every time they've asked to get our child. And I'm just blown away because why? I filed for custody. I filed and went through the court so we can have set custody days so we can both have time with the child. And there's no mishaps like y'all calling the cops on me before. There's no confusion. I have been begging for y'all to get him, but your son, old lady, your son was telling me that y'all didn't want my child because he was too bad. He thought it was funny to call and tell me one day that my son was getting evicted from the great grandma's house to the grandma's house because he was too bad and either of them couldn't stand to deal with him for a long period of time. Do you think that's something that I want to hear about my child when I know for a fact that he's not bad? He's a baby. He's one. What 1-year-old do you expect to sit down and watch Mickey Mouse all day or sit down and watch you smoke weed all day and be with 10 different men? No, that's not how it works with a child. A child's not going to sit there all day. They want to explore. They're babies. That was my issue. And then when it came down to the custody exchanges, so the way it went, it was Wednesday to Friday and Friday to Sunday. Every Wednesday to Friday, my ex had a problem. But might I remind you, we have the same custody plan as his 4-year-old child. And they would get the 4-year-old with no problem. No problem. But when it came down to my son, there was always an issue. And the issue with my ex was if I didn't want to be with him, if I didn't want to go out to eat with him, if I didn't want to spend the night at his house, if I didn't want to be intimate with him, then he wanted nothing to do with our son. Every time he would ask me for something and I say no, it would be, well, find another N-word to take Micah to daycare. Find another N-word to bring you to work. Because at the time, I was using his car. So he would threaten to take the car away from me and then tell me to find another N-word to bring our child to daycare. That would be the first thing that came out of his mouth every time. Find another N-word to take Micah to daycare. And I'm like, dang, you can do me dirty, but the first thing you think of is to neglect our son because I don't want to sleep with you? That is crazy. And y'all, I promise y'all, I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to sit here and make all of this up. This is what is being told to me daily, because I wasn't giving him what he wanted. So I just find it so crazy that y'all are turning the tables on me and saying that I'm the one that has not been giving y'all my son, whenever y'all are the ones that have been denying him every single week. Every single week. And I will never know. It could be possible that it was my ex, telling me that that his family really didn't want Micah whenever they really did. And he was just saying that to spite me because I didn't want to be with him. I wouldn't know because I don't talk to his family. I don't want to talk to them. I mean, they're no better than him. So why would I deal with three crazy people when I could just deal with one? So I don't know if that's what was going on, but now I'm leaning towards that was the case. But I don't know. And I don't care to know at this point. Time passes like a week or so. My ex has been out of jail for this point, I want to say about 2 weeks now. And this happened yesterday on June 3rd, 2026, because I don't know when y'all going to hear this. But this happened yesterday on June 3rd, 2026. He decided to text my sister and said, let me read it to y'all. Good morning. How is Micah doing? This is Germ, his dad. And he texts her from his real number. And my sister called me before she told me about the text. She was like, hey, your baby daddy is texting my phone. And I was like, what is he saying? And she read me the text and I was like, send it to me. And she was like, I'll only send it to you if you don't make a report and say that he's harassing us. And I'm like, why is that the first thing that comes out of your mouth? Like, whose side are you on? What is happening? The conversation kept going, and then she told me that she really doesn't think that I should be keeping our child from the father. And I just got so mad because what are you talking about? Have you forgot all that has transpired in the last 2 weeks? Him and his family was talking about you on Facebook, out in your business to the public. They were talking about me. The father has been threatening me, saying he's going to put me in jail. His family has been threatening me. And you think I want to go meet with them by myself to do a custody exchange? No. And that's crazy as my sister for you to even sit here and say something like that. Are you going to do the custody exchange? I didn't hear nobody offer. So she was like, well, just find somebody that's sane in the family to do the exchanges with. Who in the family is sane? Please let me know. And not everybody is sane. They just be hiding their hands because I never expected my ex's brother to get on social media and say F me and talk so much crap about me and believe the lies that his brother told him about me. His brother had the nerve to tell him that I was sleeping with my stepbrother. Are you serious? Because you're intimidated by somebody that's 2 years younger than me and has dreads. And because he's not my blood brother, you think that I would sleep with him? Are you serious? Ex's brother really went with that and posted that on social media. And you think I feel comfortable meeting up with somebody that would say that about me on social media? You think I would feel comfortable meeting up with the mama when she has tried to fight me? You're 50 years old. You have more problems to worry about than me and what me and your son have going on. But you tried to fight me on multiple occasions. Not my mama, not nobody your age. You tried to fight me on multiple occasions. For what? And you think I'm okay meeting up with her? The grandma has talked so much crap about me, but she hides her hands. She hides behind pretending she's a holy Christian woman, and she wouldn't do no such thing. That she's just so God driven. You're not. She's probably the worst one out of all of them. You think I'm okay with meeting up with her? No, I'm not okay with meeting up with anybody because y'all have shown me time and time again who y'all are. That y'all don't respect me. Y'all don't care about my safety. Y'all want to put me in harm's way. Y'all are trying to put me in jail because your son and your grandson is in jail. But you think I'm supposed to be okay meeting up with them? My own sister. It feels like my own sister is choosing my ex over me. Like he's just father of the year. And I had to tell her, I really hope that you don't think that he actually cares about our son's well-being. I really hope you don't think that. It's simple fact that today is Wednesday. This happened on a Wednesday and court is on Monday. He's trying to build up a report for court to make it seem like he's been trying to get our son and I'm just not giving him up. He's trying to get me in trouble with the law some kind of way just because he's in trouble now. And you sitting up here believing that he really cares about our son. No, there's no way. So a couple hours go by And I've talked to a few people about it. They're believing that he doesn't really care. He's trying to look good for court. It's not him caring. It's his family wanting our son X, Y, and Z. And I'm believing all of it because it sounds typical. It's typical of them to do that. So a couple hours go by and I get home and my dad asked me if I've seen my ex's mother's post. And I said, no, I have all them blocked. And he said, I figured you didn't see it. And then he showed me the post. So she posted about 5 or 6 pictures of my son. I'm going to read it word for word once again. Maman miss you so much, baby boy, but it will all be over soon. Maman will see you very soon. I have never met so many delusional and performative people in my life. Like what is going to be over soon? What is going to be over? How are you missing the same grandson that every time you get him, you ready to get rid of him within 10 minutes because he can't sit still, because he's not sitting there while you smoke weed and do all this and just watch Mickey Mouse because he's being a baby. But you miss him though. But whenever I ask you to watch him, or your mama to watch him, or your son to watch him, his father, y'all are all telling me no. Y'all have plans. Y'all have things to do, but y'all still have the other son. How am I supposed to feel when y'all are denying my child, but y'all are still getting his other child? How am I supposed to feel about that? It doesn't feel great. It's not a great feeling. And I hate to seem like a jealous person, but at this point, I'm thinking about like what truly is the motive? Because y'all know y'all don't care about him like y'all portray. But the motive for them is, what can I call it? I'm going to just say appearance. They want to appear as a loving family, like they're just not understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then they're trying to make it seem like I'm the evil person. I'm withholding my son from them for no reason. There's a reason. The reason is y'all are crazy. The reason is y'all have been threatening me for weeks on end. The reason is the father was in jail, so I'm not finna come meet with y'all after y'all have been threatening me and give him to y'all. I don't know what y'all would do to me whenever y'all see me. I have no idea. It's just like I wanted to like react to the post so bad and laugh at it, but like my dad told me, just sit back and watch. Sit there and let them sink themselves. And he sent me the screenshot and he was like, this could be evidence for court. I'm going to have to bring all this up because it really gets to a point. I mean, if I didn't want y'all to see my son, I would have never said custody, because that would have mean that we, automatically had equal custody or whatever. And I wouldn't be penalized for keeping my son and I let you see him because there's no custody set. But I took it upon myself to file for custody, find a way to get you some time with your child. Even the judge was looking at me crazy and shocked whenever I offered to give him the same custody schedule as his first son, because she said that's a lot of time. And it's really not that much time. Two days a week, and I got him the rest of the days. That's no time. So I just find it so crazy how these people can sit here and try to portray me as the villain. Like they have no idea why they cannot see my son. And it's not even that I'm keeping him from y'all. It's just I'm concerned about our safety. Every time something happens to my ex and his life doesn't go the way that he wants it to, he gets moody. I'm going to say it this way. There has been a time before when I left my ex and I got my first protective order, and I was really worried about what he would do around my son or harm himself in front of my son, that I got it to where he couldn't see our son either. So he made it a big ordeal. He went on top of a levee and was threatening to drive into the river. And even his own grandmother, I have police reports where his grandmother has told the cops that he has threatened to harm his kids before, that he's not fit to be around his kids alone. His own grandmother, the same one that's talking bad about me today. But you think I'm supposed to be okay with him getting our son when he's in a state like this? When y'all are in a state like this, y'all aren't thinking about the child. Y'all are thinking about how y'all can hurt me. And that's not beneficial to the child whatsoever. He does not need to be around y'all when y'all are in this mind frame. I don't get it. I mean, if I go to court on Monday and the judge says that he can get our son this weekend, I would not be mad. Because that's your child too. I've been wanting you to spend time with your child, but you didn't want him because you thought that if you had your son, I was going to be going out. I was going to be sleeping with men. I was going to be partying. When really, I'm just trying to go to work so I can provide for my child. That's literally it. Provide a good life for us. But you're just so bitter, mad that I don't want to be with you. that you're taking it out on our child. And that's another funny part. He had all his family, people that he talked about like crap day in and day out. He had all them on social media defending him and saying that I only pressed charges on him because I was mad he didn't want to be with me. Do I have to read these messages where he's begging to come to my house every day and spend the night? Where he's begging for me to let him in his lease in his 2-bedroom trailer to come stay in my 1-bedroom apartment and just live with me? Do I have to share those messages? Because I can if I have to, but I'm not. It's just simple fact that people are really falling for it. But how can they know the truth when they're surrounded by a bunch of liars? And even then, narcissists like hide their true self so well that nobody will ever believe what they're capable of. That's on the outside. And it's not like just this one. It's just like my ex is the only narcissist. It's his whole family. Him, his mama, his grandma, the auntie, the brother, everybody. Everybody is getting off on lying on me, spreading information about me that's not true, all because I was scared of my child's father and made a police report of what he did in case something happened to me. I'm not doing it because I'm mad that he didn't want to be with me. That was never the case. This boy told me that he would sleep in my parking spot outside my apartment until I came home if I wasn't coming home that night or something like that. Like, it's just so crazy to go through this and see how much a person can lie and deceive people. It is so crazy. If I'm giving advice to anybody that may be going through something similar, at this point, I feel like this is an original experience, because who goes through things like this? Like, if you are going through something like this where your ex and his entire family are trying to shame you to make themselves look good in court or make themselves look good to the public, their family, whatever, X, Y, and Z, don't say a word. It has been so hard for me to shut up and not get on a fake page and express my frustrations, not get on a fake page and entertain them. But it does no good. It literally does no good. I could say so much about all of these people. I could spill so much of their family business that they told me and don't think that I would tell them back to who they talking about. I can cause so much destruction, but that's not in me. That's not in me. Like, it just literally feels like I have guys sitting on my shoulder and telling me, be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient. And that's what I'm doing. I'm being patient. I'm just letting everything play out. Like, all I have to do is just gather my evidence, go in there, be honest with the judge and tell her what's going on. And I could just only pray and hope that she believes me, doesn't believe a word he says, and do what's best for the child, because that's all I want at the end of the day is what's best for my son. That's it. Like, I'm even stressed now thinking about a good visitation plan that can work for the both of us, because if she approves my move to Texas, which I hope she does, I think she will agree that distance is the best for me and him. I'm shooting for once a month, 1 week in a month visitation. We alternate the holidays like we're already doing, and maybe a week or two during the summer. Even that's a stretch for me. A week or two during the summer is a big stretch, but I have to give my child time with his father if the judge sees fit. So there's no point in me trying to fight to keep him away from his son. I don't have any desire to do that. After knowing how terrible these people were, since I've been, quote unquote, in the family, since I've been around since 2023, I still wanted my son to have some type of relationship with his father and their side of the family. I mean, because I tried to compare my son's life to mine, but I am not really that close with my dad's side of the family. I can't even name 5 cousins. Well, I probably can 5. That's a stretch. I can't name like 10 cousins, like right off the bat, that I know. Whenever they mention a cousin on my dad's side of the family, I don't know who their mom is. I don't know who the auntie is. I don't know, the family history. I don't know the family tree. And it's not necessarily my fault, but it's because I haven't been exposed to them that much in my childhood and in my life. So I didn't want that for my son. I want him to know his family. I want him to enjoy being with his family. I don't want him to have to go to his dad's house and be upset or scared or, wanting to be with me so bad that he's just miserable. I don't want that for my child. I want him to be happy in both households. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not, because of how they are. But I'm a mother, and I can only hope. I can only pray that he is safe wherever he goes. Like I said, if you're in a situation like this or similar, and you find yourself, I'm going to call it being rage baited by miserable people, even your own family, just stay silent. Because I almost got to the point yesterday where I almost made like a subliminal Instagram post about my family, just saying how they're not really family. I was going to say something stupid like water is thicker than blood because I was just so mad that like my own sister would tell me to, like, I shouldn't be keeping my son away from his father. I'm not keeping him away. I'm just protecting my safety right now. Like, court is literally a week away, less than a week now. So I was just wanting to get confirmation from the judge on what I should do and how to handle things. Because if I end up dead, then what? I feel like at this point, my family wouldn't even care. And not mentioning my dad and my stepmom, they would care. But, because it seems like they do not care about what I'm going through whatsoever. They're looking at their lives and how it's going, and they're trying to make decisions for me. I just be thinking, like, when have I ever sat down and text my sister's children's fathers and inserted myself into her life and how she's handling custody and how she's handling child support and how she's handling anything with them? I don't butt in not one bit. I don't even know what's going on with them because I don't care to know. But they feel the need. They feel like they have control over what I do with my child, what I do concerning his father, how I handle everything. That's not your place. That's not your place. You know a little bit of all the abuse I've endured for him, but you don't know everything. You still don't know everything. I might not ever tell everything. And they just be having the audacity to treat me as if I was wrong. I'm wrong for not letting him see his child when he has not asked for his child not one time. I'm wrong for getting a protective order because I was scared of the child's father. I'm wrong for pressing charges for this man coming into my house with keys that he made that I had no idea about. I'm wrong for pressing charges because he put his hands on me while he was in my house. I'm wrong because he put a mini camera in my car to listen to my phone conversations. I'm wrong for all that. I'm wrong for reacting to what he has done to me. That is crazy. That is very crazy. So if you're going through something like this, just know you're not alone. I'm here. If you ever need to talk, just DM me, anything. I am here to listen. I made this podcast because people are going through things that nobody knows about, and people may never know until it's too late. And people may feel so alone that they feel like, there's no way out. And there's always a way out. I left, and yes, it's hell right now because and that's the crazy thing. I'm sorry I keep trying to end the podcast, but it's just so crazy that when I was with my ex and we were trying to make it work, all his family were calling me so stupid. His cousins that were defending him on the internet, his mama, his grandma, his auntie. His grandma and his auntie would sit on the phone with me for hours and tell me that I don't love myself because I'm dating my ex. I'm dating my child's father. I'm trying to make it work with my child's father. I don't love myself because I'm trying to make it work with him, even though he's abusing me, even though he sees no value in me. They tell me that he's so crazy that he needs to be in the mental hospital. He don't deserve to be with anybody. I'm too good for him. Telling me all these things. But the second I leave him, they flip like a switch, like they have never told me any of these things. His own grandmother has given me statements to give to the police concerning him and saying how he's not stable. But now, since I've left him, I've pressed charges on him. He's been in jail. He's been posted all over the internet. Now, it's like none of this has ever been said. I'm the bad person. I'm keeping my son away from them. I'm only doing this because I'm bitter because he doesn't want me. But y'all are the ones that told me to leave him. His own mama would call me and tell me all the things that he's done to try and put me in jail. His mama told me that when he stole my iPad, he sold it at the little phone selling center in Walmart. But I'm wrong for protecting myself and my child. It's just so crazy. So I say all this to say, ignore it all. You know yourself. You know what you're doing for your child. And Miserable people will always be miserable and don't want the best. They like you when you're down. They like you whenever you have nothing to your name. They like you whenever you need to rely on them. But the second you get some wings, they are going to try to shoot you down again. So just ignore everything that's coming your way and keep doing what you're doing. Literally, that's it. It's hard. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. It's going to be hard to keep your mouth shut. But just do what I do. Journal it. Talk to people who really understand. Find your people. Find who really cares about you and lean on them. If your family not believing you, cut them off. If your family telling you that you should get back with your ex, he not that bad, he this and he that, cut them off. Stop talking to them. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your sister, your brother, your aunt. Cut them off. Because if they can say those things to you and then turn on you like that, then they don't mean you know well anyway. That's all I have for you guys today. I love y'all so much. And I will definitely update you guys on the next episode on how court went. Just stay on your toes, y'all, because I'm staying on mine. I'm going to go to the library today and print out everything I need. And I'm going to just go in there head held high. Don't let them think that they're getting one up on you. Just stay 10 toes down, y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye.
Soft light, express the shows in my eyes. This is how I hold my shoulders when I stop living rough.